Okay, hello. Let us know when you're all joining. I'm going to do a little technical adding to our link here. And this is the referral. What do we want to call this link? Referral link?
To get your free breast pump.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, hi, Andrea. We're so always on the same schedule. Let me add this link here, and then is anybody else there? Or is it just Andrea? Which would be fine. Get your free breast pump. Okay. And then we'll save. Okay. So let us know. There's Trisha. Hi. Ursula. Look at this is so funny. I know all these people. Shelby. Hi. I know all these people. Tell us where you're from. Where are you guys hanging out this evening? Jen and I are hanging out online. That's Jen from Ardo. You know her. We're here every month talking about breastfeeding and giving away a pump.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Nothing more fun than that. Andrea's in Texas. I'm in Chicago. Utah.
I have our pump. There's the pump that we're going to be giving away tonight. That's our Calypso Double Plus. That is our $199 package. So we'll be giving that away to whoever chimes in, including saying where you're from.
Yes, all of your comments. That's why I asked these questions to get you guys to comment, because when you comment, you are automatically entered into the giveaway for the best pump on the market.
Yay.
Which I'm allowed to say.
It's also exciting to say where you're from.
It is, and I love reading that. That's I always start all the chats off like that because I love reading where everybody is from because I think it's awesome. Hi, Heidi, you're in Illinois. Can you see the comments, Jen?
Still no. This Be Live thing does not.
That's weird because when I do chats with Diane, she sees the comments.
Oh, wait a minute. I just figured it out.
You can see them now?
I do. I'm so excited.
Okay, cool.
So not only can I see my face this time, but I can also see people. So,
do you guys remember last month when all Jen could see was her boobs? She could see her face, but it was like weird. She couldn't see anything, and she could only see her boobs. So we had to keep reassuring her that it was her face, and then she thought we were all playing a joke on her.
Yeah, I've seen my boobs a lot, but staring at them for an hour and not knowing if my face was doing something weird, which it usually is, was really unnerving.
Oh, I know. When you can't see your face, you're like, oh, I just made that face. What do I look like? Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yes, and then remember how it shut out, and I just kept like.
Oh yeah, right. I know that happens all the time. That happens all the time with the You know what? Let me do a little edit here. So keep telling us where you're from. California's in the house. Yeah, y'all with the warm weather. So we are going to talk today. Our topic is going to be, what is it? Home remedies for breastfeeding problems.
Yep. It's just kind of tips that you guys can probably take care of pretty simply if you see the things going a little bit amiss. So Abby and I brainstormed a little bit about just common issues and how most of these things can be taken care of, like in a nursing session or pumping session or two, or in a day or two. You don't really need to do anything else.
Yeah, right. Unlike, and then we can talk about like maybe some things that are home remedy worthy and maybe some that are not, that maybe need more intervention.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to edit the post so that everyone knows what we're doing.
And I see so many questions right now, and I'm just like, I want to answer that right now.
I know. So we're going to do our best to answer all the questions. We are. We're also going to try to stay on topic a little bit. So what sort of breastfeeding problems do we have that we can deal with at home? There's probably the most common one, the absolutely most common one would be sore nipples, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think that.
I definitely had that at one point or another. And
yeah, I can't imagine anyone who's never had sore nipples. I mean, just for even a short period of time.
So we had a breastfeeding support group today, breast milk feeding support group today. And we talked about how if anybody had the pain that some of these parents were describing, let's say like our partners, and they described it anywhere else on their body and it wasn't related to infant feeding, how quickly it would be taken care of. So this whole conversation went around the room and we were like, the pain might be like described as a burning or pinching or blistering or, bleeding or all these other things.
Yeah, people would freak out. They'd be like, oh my God, you're dying.
Right. Let's get you in, like, go to urgent care, whatever.
Go to urgent care. Yeah. That's so true. But with breastfeeding, it's just like, oh,
go over the 6-week hump. You'll be fine.
Yeah, just stick with it.
Fixed.
It's supposed to hurt. No, it's not.
No, if you describe those pains on anywhere else on your body, let's say somewhere sensitive, otherwise it'd be shut down like real quick.
Yeah, my God, that's so true. So have you guys had sore nipples?
I'm curious what people did too, like if they did home remedies or if they.
Yeah, so what did you guys do for sore nipples? Because the whole did you have sore nipples question, that's a stupid question, because yes, you have. And so what did you do?
Did you have it, Abby? I totally did.
I did, definitely. I did a lot of nipple cream. I just did a lot of nipple cream, and then like once I started learning a little bit more, and maybe my kids were a little older, I was trying to it was maybe more like, if there was like teeth related, I would try to switch the position to try to maybe give that part a rest.
Yeah, that's a really, really good tip. I see somebody from Iowa. Me too. Not that exciting, but so Abby and I came up with a couple home remedies for latch, and obviously getting it corrected, or flange size is getting it corrected. Trying to put like a Band-Aid on it literally or figuratively is not the best way to deal with it most often, or like that tincture of time can be kind of problematic if the baby does not latch correctly if you don't use the right flange size. So we talked about using, I see a couple of people saying like lanolin or coconut oil or breast milk. It's all really important for the moist wound healing. And I hate that word. I have to say it because there's like no other.
What word do you hate? Wound?
No. The word before wound, the moist.
Oh, moist. Oh, yeah.
The worst.
Horrible word. That's like the worst word in the English language.
There's like no other way to describe this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to avoid saying it ever again, but things you have to put on there for healing that will help speed it up. So I see like lanolin. I think like the nipple creams or olive oil, coconut oil tend to be a little bit better options, generally just because they have like some wound healing agents in it. But these are things that we can do at home in addition to, correcting the original problem and heal things up right away. I love that people are saying like it's coconut oil, olive oil. Those are things that you probably have around the house, and you can use like a disposable nursing pad just because it can, maybe your laundry otherwise, unless you're really, really good at your laundry. But it's so good for healing sore and cracked nipples.
Yeah, and the nipples can get really bad. They can get cracked and they can get bloody and that can be really so painful.
Yeah, and it can happen even now. I mean, even if your baby's latching pretty well or if you're pumping pretty well, with just the temperature changing, you just
right.
it just So you take care of the skin on your face and moisturize, you know.
Right.
No problem talking about it because I've been there.
Right. I know. It's like I can always tell when the season shifts because I just start itching
Yes.
everywhere. Like I just am I want to take like when I remember when I was pregnant, I would take like, you know, the I don't know what it's called, but the spaghetti spoon, you know, that has the like the prongs. And I would take that like on my back. And I would just sit like scratch. It was not the best, obviously not what you're supposed to do, but it was terrible. I mean, then your nipples are just, I mean, like then your nipples are even more sensitive.
We have to take care of them. We have to take care of them. If your baby's not latching well or things are too dry, just try it out. If it's breast milk, awesome. But something like coconut oil or olive oil or a nipple cream. And I know Abby works with Mother Love, and I love Mother Love. That's something that you can wear.
Mother Love has great nipple cream. I mean, it's just really, get whatever nipple cream works for you, but I really do. I've had really, really good luck with Mother Love nipple cream.
What about how we talk about?
Oh yeah, and so Tanya mentioned hospital, the air in the hospital.
Hi, Amy.
Being so dry.
Oh yeah. Oh, my friend Amy's here.
Oh, I saw her say hi, Jen from Ardo. Yeah.
So yeah, that's so interesting. But yeah, if you feel so thirsty and all the time, you probably need to think about adding that to your skincare routine.
I remember when one of the things I did with my first, I didn't do it with my second. Whatever. With my first, I used nipple cream I just put it on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't even sore. I just like got it in my head that it was like, I don't know, like a preventative measure or something.
Yeah.
I just put it on all the time.
Makes great lip balm if you don't. The other one I wanted
to mention was, totally, yeah.
So a lot of people who have maybe a lash that's not that great or their flame size isn't that great, they tend to get like scabs or dry skin on their nipples, so they can actually do a saline soak. And that's not something you would do for more than a couple of days, but you could do it maybe like 2 or 3 times a day for a minute or two, and just a tablespoon of water to a tablespoon of salt to some warm water. And then you can talk about your moving a teacup in a little bit, but this is really similar. Like you're just submerging it, and you're going to, it's kind of like if you're gargling salt water with a sore throat, like you're just kind of taking care to not get any infections there, but you're also softening the skin. So this saline soap plus, especially like the coconut oil, is really skin softening, and then often you can just pump or nurse out that extra skin. It's super
perfect. I see you guys talking to each other in the
breast milk is pretty good.
They're all talking to each other. That's so nice. Yeah, help each other. Because really, we would love to answer all the questions, but it's impossible.
Yeah, I saw some really interesting ones about like checking iron and like, yeah, we'll tag back into those. Those are really checking iron levels. Like those are really,
we can even do, we're going to, me and Ardo, we're going to be here every month, and we can just be picking up topics based on what you guys, need.
Mm-hmm.
So what else are some problems?
What's the other one? Why don't you talk about clogged ducts? Because that is it's one of the hands down the best blogs on our website. Like you can just see this. It's freaking phenomenal, your advice.
I do. I love that because clogged ducts are another thing that are just like one of those things that you're probably gonna struggle with. And like, even if you try to avoid it and all that, it's just like, it's one of these things that's going to like creep up. So the thing with the clogged ducts is like, it's clogged. You have milk ducts in your breast, and sometimes the milk gets kind of built up and it gets clogged. And so I didn't come up with this myself. I stole it off the internet from my own page in a conversation that I was having with somebody. She said, I had a clogged duct and I put a picture of myself in, I got a bowl of warm water and I leaned over it, dangled my boob inside of it and left it there so to warm it up, to kind of get it like nice and warm and loose, and then you can pump or you can breastfeed to kind of pull the plug out. And somebody said, it's a put your tit in a teacup kind of day. And it was just the most beautiful thing ever.
Reference I have ever heard. It is the best, super simple advice ever, because you can massage out that plug. You can, like, often, I think maybe it was that article, maybe it was a different one, I can't remember, maybe it's both, but you talk about you can actually see like the thicker milk coming out.
I've seen that.
It's super fulfilling in this
it is
kind of weird way, but you're figuring out like your body on a like primal level. And if you don't do this, like it could turn into mastitis. I mean, it can be pretty painful. So Abby's tip
it's really painful. Yeah,
Abby's tip is really simple, and a lot of us just don't realize that we're able to take care of these things on our own. So try it.
And
if you get it plugged up.
Try whatever, because I mean the idea is to get it warm so that it loosens up, and then to pull it out so you can breastfeed. And it's totally safe to breastfeed with a plug duct. So some people worry that it's not safe, and it's totally safe. But the thing is to warm it up, massage it, and try to get it out, by pumping or breastfeeding. And so however, you can do that in a shower, you can do it with a warm washcloth, and or you can stick your tit in a teacup.
Yeah, you could do anything that you say, like point your baby's chin to the spot where the plug is, and all these other. There's sometimes that you just can't get it out. So changing up positions, and obviously like Abby into like a Tupperware or whatever your sink basin is not probably the position you're doing it in normally. It just tends to
some people will get on all fours and dangle their breast in their baby's mouth, and then you get really powerful suction from your baby, and it's all loose, like hanging there in that position. It's great. Just do, there's no wrong
fantastic workout, right? Because you're like planking so you don't squash your baby also.
Right, yeah, right.
But it's such a simple remedy. So plug ducts, using warm water and submerging the breast and using hand expression. I saw somebody mention blebs or like dry skin or even scab skin on the nipple. You can do a saline soap, and that's a tablespoon of salt to a cup of water. That's just for a couple days, like 1 or 2 times a day, and then nipple cream. Now, what was the other one we talked about? Was it just nipple balm?
Should we? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to move on to the next problem.
Okay.
I was just going to say we should probably stop and talk about the pump for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Giving a pump away. Somebody wants to know where's the best place to. Oh no, maybe she was talking about the nipple cream. Anyway, let's talk about the pump because we haven't yet. So you guys are all entered to win this pump, but have we told you about this pump yet?
Okay, so you can see the pump behind me or here. So I have this running right now. This is, if you guys can see that, it is 64 settings. So there's 8 cycles, 8 vacuum, so 64 total. But this is the quietest breast pump on the market. It's entirely manufactured in Switzerland. It's AC adapter, car adapter, or 6AA batteries. And even with 6AA batteries, it's less than a pound. So this is pumping right now, like I said. So the really fantastic thing about this too, other than my favorite thing is that it's manufactured in Switzerland, is that it's called a piston pump. So this is really super gentle on nipple. It just kind of gently holds and then releases. On most pumps on the market that are membrane pumps, they like hold your nipple and then they let go. So it gives a sensation of more suction when in fact
which is not at all what your baby does.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Sucking and letting go. Like it's just
Right.
this gentle kind of motion.
Right.
Yeah.
So ours uses negative pressure to hold the breast tissue and then releases and it doesn't let go of suction. So totally different mechanism, very simple design and high quality. So it's funny because we go to like shows and people say, what do you recommend for a breast pump? And I'll say, well, I can't actually do that. Like Abby and I talk about this a lot. I can't do that. So I am a lactation consultant. I'm not supposed to say, a brand or whatever, but I'll say that I used it. So I could have used another brand.
I can say it. I used Ardo and I recommend Ardo.
I can say it subtly. I can say it in you say like a gypsy way. I've tried out like a whole bunch of other pumps on the market, but this way, I get myself into trouble. And if I need to pump again, I would use Ardo.
Can you charge it? Trisha wants to know if you can you charge it?
No, so that's a good question. So we just have this 6AA battery option on the inside. And the reason we don't have that is because having an external battery pack greatly adds to the weight. So because this just has the 6AA battery or AC adapter, that's why it's less than a pound.
Yeah, it's super light. Yeah. Yes. I remember that too. So yes, I used it and I don't have any of these. I'm not a lactation consultant. I'm just a mom blogger who talks to other moms or breastfeeders, whatever you identify as a breastfeeder.
It's super valuable to feed your babies, like being somebody does research on a pump or whatever isn't probably physically hooking it up to their breast and getting, not using it. So I see somebody asking, they asked about how does it compare to a hospital grade pump. So the interesting thing about a hospital grade pump is often they have the same high vacuum, but they have a different low vacuum. So our hospital grade pump, for example, has this vacuum setting that's extremely low. Like it would go down. Let's see if you're trying to mimic what like a 20 weeker would need or would be stimulating the breast. That's what a hospital grade pump often has the capability to do, but they have the same high vacuum. So our pump has the capability to pump at 250, it's called milligrams of mercury. And then our hospital grade pump does as well, but it doesn't go to that low setting that you don't need anyway, if that makes sense. So compared to a hospital grade pump, we have them, but for full-time pumping or exclusively pumping parent, it does the same.
Okay. And is it expensive?
Well, it is if you pay for it out of pocket. I mean, well, we don't want you to pay for it out of pocket. It's covered by insurance. So have you put the link above? It's right. You put it like I think in your subject line for the chat, but it should be covered by insurance. We talked about this last time. There's like a big addendum that some states are a little bit behind the times, specifically with insurances like Medicaid, and they don't have to follow the same guidelines, but most major insurances like United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, TRICARE, Cigna, all the major ones, definitely. I'd say most of them, yes. So we really try to take care to find everybody a pump.
Yeah, and don't take, if you've already gotten a no from your insurance company, just ignore that for now and head to the link above and fill out the information and let Ardo work with you. Because sometimes the insurance companies get a little confused about what they're talking about because they have a lot of things to know. And so, but the price of the pump that we're talking about now is $199. Is that right?
Yeah, the one that we're giving away is $199. The upgrade package to that is $299. It comes with a diaper bag and a cooler bag. So the difference in the pump itself is nothing. The pump itself is the same. So the things I'm showing you, the 64 settings, the closed system, quiet pump, all those things, that's the same. But your insurance, let's say that your insurance you find out covers one versus like the $299 one, doesn't mean there's anything different. Your insurance just kind of determines a price point. So there's the nitty gritty on insurance pumps for you, I guess.
Yeah, insurance is so confusing. I mean, that's the last thing I wanted to deal with when I was pregnant or new mom. I just go to the link and let somebody help you through the process.
Yeah. I saw somebody ask.
What?
Go ahead. Somebody asked how long the warranty is. It's 1 year or 400 hours, whichever is better. But it doesn't mean the pump's gonna like not work anymore. So I pumped for over 2 years for my son, and it still works. I still use it for demos and stuff. So it's
I've had mine for a few years. I mean, I don't use it that much, but I don't use it at all anymore since I'm not breastfeeding. But
yeah.
Mallory wants to know, are the replacement parts available?
Oh yeah, definitely. And lots of insurances even cover for those replacement parts, but we're available on Amazon and lots of retailers. So yep, super easy to clean, 5 flange sizes. How will we get into the next tip?
Yeah.
Correcting latch and then checking flange size. Does that work? I need to find a boob. I think I have got boobs right here.
What are we talking about? Flange size? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Common tip.
Did you know that one size is not fits all with flange sizes?
What?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it at first, for sure.
I really needed my pump. That might answer the question of why I could never pump any milk out.
Oh man, so when I got my first pump, and many people are going to have this, even when they get it with their insurance, you get often one flange size. And the number of families, like educated families who think that means that they fit that flange is through the roof. I mean, because I run our customer service here too, so I'll get calls like, your flange doesn't fit. And I'll say, have you been fitted, or is it bigger or smaller, whatever. But I find they only got that one flange. That doesn't mean, it does not mean it's going to fit you. Just check out the options, learn how to look into those options and order one that's going to fit for you, because you can really impact your supply, and even, it can really hurt too.
And the pain. Yeah, the pain.
Yeah. I don't, for people out there like maybe haven't pumped, but I don't want to.
Yeah, if you're pumping and it hurts, then there's a problem. It's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
It shouldn't hurt. So if it hurts, then, there's a problem. If your nipple's rubbing on the side or your whole areola is being sucked in, that's not one of those mean that's not a good fit.
But the number of people who get one flange and think that that's their only option is.
Well, and nobody tells you any different.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the hospital, they're like, get a pump, just do this. No one ever says anything like, you don't know anything about, I never heard anything like that.
I don't know. I worked in the hospital, and I gotta say, I did not see pumps. We just didn't see them hardly ever, especially ones that were single user. So the other brands out there, we didn't see them. You'd see the hospital brand that you carried, and if it wasn't the right fit, it wasn't the right fit. You didn't even know.
Yeah, right.
Things can change after your milk comes in. So
that's the other thing, is that your flange size could change throughout your breastfeeding journey too.
Yeah. So I see a few people saying they didn't know about that. It still doesn't work effectively. If it doesn't work effectively, then that's a time to talk to someone. If you try the flange size, troubleshot your pump, then it's time to talk to the manufacturer. That's time to talk about maybe even looking into a size that the pump company doesn't have available. We're not, as Ivy said, we're not we're not robots. We're not all going to fit in the same.
Yeah. Have you seen boobs lately? They're all different.
Yes. Yeah. So the demo breast that I show has this little nipple on it, and you're gonna find a flange that's gonna fit this, and you're gonna also find there's also nipples out there that is as big as this areola on this nipple, and that's totally normal. And you can have one that's that size and one that's the other size, completely normal. But we just don't have that conversation a lot, that you have to be fitted to, and then also that may change throughout your pumping set journey. So like you said, if it's just if your supply is dipping or having pain, then check into it. It's not that complicated. I did. Yeah. I went from a 26 to a 22.
Wow. I don't even know. I never even knew there was. I still don't know my size. Well, maybe I do now, but I never knew the numbers. This was way later. Oh, there's different sizes. I was like, huh.
Yeah. I didn't know until 30 either.
58 months. Josie, first of all, I love that you're counting in months at 58 months. That is awesome. No, sometimes people get kind of snarky about that, and I'm just like, this is
fantastic.
breastfeeding. Like, let's break it down here. How many months has it been? That's all.
Yeah.
And people are like, but I can't do math. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that you can't do math.
Yeah, Abby and I have both nursed our kiddos into a little bit past the walking stage and fully respect families that continue that journey. It's pretty awesome.
Jack was 6.5 when he weaned, and Exley is 4, and he still acts like he hasn't weaned, although I keep trying to tell him that he did.
That's excellent. That's excellent. My kiddo's nursed right around that time and still have a nursling enormous child, but I don't know. It's pretty wonderful.
So do we have any breastfeeding problems? Were there other breastfeeding problems?
Let's see, what did we talk about? We did
sore nipples, we did clogged ducts,
and like dry skin and the wrong size flange. We can see one or two more things I kind of thought about doing. If anybody had engorgement, I was curious if anybody had engorgement, like after you came home or whatever. And then the other thing I was curious if people had issues with was just latch. Like we've talked about flange, but I'm curious about too. So I have a tip or two for that, and you do too with.
A tip or two for what?
Oh, latch. Like you were talking about different positions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I saw overproduction. That was one we talked about at my breastfeeding support group today. Did you have that, Abby? Overproduction?
No.
Really? I thought you talked about that.
On the other end. I was on the other end. I mean, I know now that I didn't have like low milk supply, but I was not. There wasn't a lot of extra going around. No.
Okay. So that might be a whole. The funny thing is, I think we could do a whole freaking chat on like oversupply and low supply, because it is so much info. Like it's just nuts. So I'm seeing a lot of people talking about like latch. Do you know what reverse pressure softening is? Have you heard of that before?
No.
Okay. So we're talking engorgement. So let's say, or if you're not able to remove milk, there's this tip that's recommended to move. It's your edema. So it's like if you have too much fluid, like let's say you have too much salty foods or whatever, like your feet swell. Okay, so like you came home after you had your baby and it feels like you're walking in watermelons.
Yeah.
If you go home like that,
right,
then the chances are that your breasts have too much fluid in it, like kind of holding in the milk is pretty high. So when people have a hard time removing that milk and like the latch all of a sudden,
they're shooting you full of fluids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
you go up like 6 pant sizes just from all the fluids.
Right. Yes. So when families say that like they're having a hard time getting the milk out when they're pumping, or if their baby's all of a sudden fussy and they can't latch, I talk about how to move that fluid away. So I'm going to use this. Was going to look like I have this tiny little baby boob, but it's my favorite part. Every time I post our videos on whatever, it always shows me with this freaking boob.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is, but it's always in this weird like. Or making a dumb face. It doesn't. Yeah, it looks like I'm holding like a boob muffin. It's stupid. Anyways, so if you're doing reverse pressure softening, I have to like get out here. Okay, so if you have this swelling and your nipples are getting like flatter or shiny, or even
I was going to say your breast is going to fill up, your nipple's going to change shape, your baby might even have trouble latching on.
Exactly. Yep. So all these things, if your baby is having a hard time latching, or if you go a little bit longer between sessions, you just go on either side of the base of the nipple and you start putting pressure in, and you're going to hold that for, 5 to 10 seconds with your 4 fingers. And then you're just going to go around kind of like a clock, and you're going to push that extracellular fluid back into the chest wall.
Okay.
Circle around. And then you can even push it back up further into the chest wall. And then you're going to be able to remove that milk. It's just a
Huh.
Super, super simple way to free up space in your body. And eventually, you know, when you might need to tag in some help and like have your partner go get some watermelon or cucumber or whatever to help pee it out. But if you're going longer between feedings, and you're getting engorged and having a hard time to get that milk out, or just engorged from new baby, or know if you're going to have like a C-section, is a freaking awesome tip to make things a little bit easier.
That's fantastic.
And you can also have like your partner do it too. So like somebody's like, you might need help to push it back. I mean, if they want to help out, it's a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
So there's a boob trick for you.
Yeah, that's a good boob trick.
You'd be surprised, and also you just have all this milk. So
yeah. Okay. Well, so anything else?
What else?
We talked about.
I hope we got a lot of it out.
I think we did. Oh, forceful letdowns. Yeah, see, there's all kinds of these issues that we could go on all day.
Yeah, forceful letdown and like oversupply. I think we should do that next time. I swear to you, like every time I swear we do like a breastfeeding support group. It's like the majority of families are in that realm, honestly. I don't know if it's because of like the local hospitals and stuff are like pushing pumping after nursing sessions. So it's just like skyrocketing the amount of people that have oversupply.
Well, I think that is I think that's a good point. I think there is this, there's this thought that when you're breastfeeding that you need to be pumping and you need to be pumping right away. I mean, people get pumps for baby shower gifts. Like it's a standard thing. Breastfeeding equals pumping, and you know,
yeah,
pumping is a great tool when you need it, but you can start too early, and you can kind of get things like you can get things a little wonky if you're not doing it right properly.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're setting your hormones up for nursing twins or triplets or more, and it can be a complicated issue to bring that back in line. And so a lot of families can come in with this perception. And I've definitely been there, like with low supply going, I mean, I wish I had that problem. I wish I had oversupply. It can be complicated though. So I just say, like, take it with a little bit of grace that the babies tend to be extremely fussy. I mean, colic is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but I mean, think if you were to chug like gallons of milk, stomach upset, screaming all night, and then parents often have like clogged ducts mess. It's not a grace often. So yeah, I think we'll talk about that next time about how to kind of combat maybe some low supply, oversupply things also at home.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. Because that can be such a big problem that it's definitely something that you can deal with at home by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix that.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this too. Like, you talk about like birth plans, but like consider having some sort of an infant feeding plan as much as you can kind of work it in, or at least having your family know what's important to you. Obviously, there's things that sometimes you can't factor in, but you can still say, if baby's separated from me for a certain amount of time, my partner can take over a feeding or something, or I'd like to pump within a certain amount of time. So just being educated on how to get things started off, or if you're told to pump after feeding when things are going well, like why are you pumping after you're nursing your baby? It's making
right.
Just why? I don't know. Just ask why.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you ask why, people don't have an answer because it comes down to this whole, this protocol, especially in the hospital. It's like, well, it's just what we do. Well,
yeah, I don't know. So Ardo says this a lot, and this is why I like the company so much, is they say to establish. I mean, if you plan on breastfeeding, established breastfeeding, then you look at things like working on figuring out your flange size, but it's not a tool to throw in right away. Like without necessity, I question a lot of using it without, I don't know, cost.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do we have anything else, Jen? I'm trying to see how long we've been. We're at 40 minutes.
I think that's good for me. I think if people have questions, I'll, you and I can try to hop back on, and we have another couple staff members here that are help with nursing club and parents too, so they can chime in too. And whoever has comments or just says, "Sup, I'm from Iowa." If you're not from, I don't know, whatever that comment.
Every comment, everybody who has commented today, all the 430 comments are entered into the giveaway of the Calypso breast pump, and we will, like we do every time, we will leave it open, right? Are we going to leave it open for a while?
Yeah. Let's do a week, and then that'll give me some time to go back through these.
Yeah, we'll try to go back through and try to get people's questions answered, and we'll get, if there seems to be a lot of repetition in people's questions, then maybe we'll just organize a chat around that topic.
Okay.
So that seems like a good thing. Yeah. Give the people what they need, right?
Yeah. So lots of stuff that people can take home and do themselves, and sit in your pajama pants and snuggle up to your baby and enjoy your baby.
Right. Yeah, right.
Out on that basic stuff. So anyway, Abby, it was nice chatting with you.
Totally. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll be back soon. And keep commenting and talking to each other. I love how you guys are helping each other in the thread, realizing that it's not possible for us to answer every single comment. But we will see you next time.
All right.
And we'll announce the winner next week in the thread, okay? Okay, bye.